Right now, your body is hiding proof that you almost had a tail. Run your fingers down your spine, past your lower back, to that small bony point at the very bottom. That's not just the end of your spine. That's a tail, one your body built, then quietly deleted, before you were even born. For about a month inside the womb, every human embryo grows a small tail. It sticks out, complete with its own vertebrae, its own muscle tissue, exactly like every other animal with a tail. Then, somewhere around week 8, your body does something almost no other creature does: it kills the tail on purpose. Cells inside it are triggered to self-destruct, shrinking it down until all that's left is the small fused bone doctors call the coccyx. You didn't fail to grow a tail. You grew one, and your own body erased it. The obvious question is why? And the honest answer is, nobody fully agrees. One theory points to a single gene mutation, something that happened deep in the ancestry of apes millions of years ago, a tiny copy-paste error in a gene called TBXT. That one glitch may be the reason every ape on Earth, chimps, gorillas, orangutans, and us, lost our tails while monkeys kept theirs. NYU geneticists Bo Xia and Itai Yanai, who identified this mutation, found that inserting a similar change into mice caused their tails to shorten dramatically, sometimes disappearing completely. A single broken instruction, and an entire body plan changed forever. But losing something that useful should have been a disaster. Imagine losing your phone's balance sensor mid-hike on a mountain trail. That's essentially what a tail loss should have done to early tree-dwelling apes: no counterbalance, no extra grip, nothing to catch you on the way down. And that's exactly what happened for a while. Fossil evidence suggests early tailless apes struggled with balance in the trees, at least initially. Except something unexpected followed the tail's disappearance: bigger brains, better problem-solving, more complex movement through the branches. Losing the tail may have forced apes to develop sharper spatial awareness and stronger core control just to survive without it. The very thing that should have doomed us might have pushed us to compensate in ways that mattered more. There's a strange parallel here worth sitting with. When one system in your body fails, others often overcompensate. People who lose their sight frequently report sharper hearing, like a phone rerouting battery power from one drained app to another that needs it more. Losing the tail may have triggered a similar rerouting across an entire species, millions of years before anyone understood what a nervous system even was. Here's where it gets strange. Every so often, a human is still born with a tail. It's rare, but documented, a small, flexible growth extending from the base of the spine, sometimes containing muscle, sometimes even capable of slight movement. Doctors call it a vestigial tail, and it happens when the self-destruct signal your embryo was supposed to receive simply doesn't fire correctly. It's not a birth defect from nowhere. It's an old, ancient program glitching back on, briefly, before modern surgery removes it within days of birth. Your DNA never forgot how to build a tail. It just usually remembers to delete the instructions in time. What's even stranger is that this isn't the only leftover instruction still sitting in your genetic code. Humans carry dozens of these dormant blueprints: the muscles that used to move your ears independently, the reflex that curls your toes when something touches the sole of your foot, a grip reflex in newborns strong enough to support their own body weight. None of these exist because you need them today. They exist because deleting old code completely is harder than evolution makes it look. Here's something worth sitting with: if your body still carries the blueprint for a tail, buried but never fully removed, what do you think that says about how much of your ancient self is still hiding inside you? Let me know what you think below. Now picture the version of you that kept it. A tail wouldn't just be decoration. For early humans moving through forests, a tail could have meant balance while running, an extra limb for carrying tools, even a way to signal emotion the way dogs and cats still do today. Some researchers argue that losing tail-based signaling may have forced early humans to rely more heavily on facial expression instead. The tail's job, quietly reassigned to 60-plus muscles now controlling your face. That reassignment might explain something deeply human. Without a tail to wag, flick, or tuck, evolution needed another channel for the same information: fear, excitement, submission, joy. Your face may be doing the emotional work a tail once did for your ancestors, translated into raised eyebrows and tightened lips instead of a lowered, swishing tail. Watch a dog for 30 seconds and you'll see the entire emotional range of a tail in action. High and stiff means alert, low and tucked means afraid, loose and wagging means safe. Now try reading a human face for 30 seconds. Micro-expressions flicker across it in fractions of a second, layering dozens of subtle signals on top of each other, a communication range far richer than anything a tail could physically transmit. And this changes something important about the story. Losing the tail wasn't really a loss at all. It was a trade, one communication system for another, more precise one. A tail can only move in a handful of ways. A human face can form countless subtle combinations, readable across a crowded room, understandable to strangers who don't even speak your language. That trade may have shaped more than communication. Standing upright, balancing on two legs without a counterweight, forced early human ancestors to develop stronger core muscles and a completely restructured spine, the same S-curved spine you're sitting on right now, engineered specifically to keep you balanced without the tail evolution once relied on. Think about it like this: your spine is running on a firmware update that happened millions of years ago, quietly rewriting the hardware to work without a part it used to depend on. Every time you stand up straight without thinking about it, that update is still running in the background. There's a cost to that update, though, and you've probably felt it. Lower back pain is one of the most common complaints in modern medicine, and some researchers connect part of that to this exact trade-off: a spine originally built for four-legged, tailed movement, repurposed for upright walking without a full redesign. You're not imagining that ache after a long day standing. You're feeling millions of years of unfinished renovation. So if humans had kept their tails, the ripple effects would be enormous. Different spine. Different balance system. Possibly a different face, since so many of your expressive muscles may have evolved to fill the communication gap a tail left behind. The upright walking that freed your hands to build, carry, and create might never have stabilized the same way with a tail still hanging off your spine, still demanding its own kind of balance. Even your relationships might look different. Imagine trying to hide nervousness on a first date if your tail betrayed you the second your heart rate spiked. Every uncomfortable silence, every moment of forced calm, would be broadcast involuntarily behind you. The privacy of a still, unreadable face, something you rely on every single day without noticing, might not exist at all in a world where humans kept swishing, twitching proof of every emotion they tried to hide. And it wouldn't stop at emotions. Picture your entire physical world quietly redesigned around one extra bone. Every chair in your house would need a gap cut into the backrest. Every pair of jeans, every car seat, every crowded elevator ride would come with the same unspoken negotiation: animals with tails never have to think twice about. Somewhere, a version of you is trying to sit through a long flight, tail folded awkwardly against a seatback that was never built to hold it, a small, constant inconvenience nobody in that timeline would even recognize as strange, because they'd never known anything else. The tailbone at the base of your spine isn't a leftover mistake. It's a monument, proof that your body once had a completely different plan for surviving in this world, and abandoned it for something that turned out to work better. If stories like this, about the parts of you evolution quietly deleted, keep pulling you back, subscribe. Next time we're uncovering the ancient reflex still hiding in your spine every time you get startled. You are, right now, walking around inside the finished draft of a body that used to have a tail, every deleted piece of that old plan still written somewhere inside you, waiting to remind you how much of your past you're still carrying, whether you can see it or not.